Do you think that the news media has been providing truthful and adequate information on what is an assault weapon versus a firearm that's used for sporting purposes?
Now this is an assault weapon by the law because it has a flash hider, it has a bayonet lug, it has a detachable magazine and an extending pistol grip. It is also semi-automatic. Now, semi-automatic means that every time you pull the trigger, it fires one round, it extracts the empty case and loads a fresh round out of the magazine. So that's the term semi-automatic. It only fires one round per pull of the trigger. That's very important. This is a banned assault weapon by law. This next rifle is known as the M1 Garand. It is the battle rifle carried in World War II. I'll keep it pointed in a safe direction. I won't get near the trigger, and I'll lock the action open so we can verify that there's no ammunition in it. This firearm is, again, semi-automatic. It has no flash hider, but it does have a bayonet lug, but it doesn't have a pistol grip. But this is a legal firearm, even though it was the battle rifle in World War II because of, well, I guess because of the wood. Look at all this pretty wood. Lots of wood. There's no wood in that black rifle, so it's not as friendly. And that's the basic difference. The cosmetics of this rifle make it legal, whereas the other rifle isn't. And again, it had nothing to do with crime. It had nothing to do with the effectiveness of the firearm, but it only had to do with the cosmetic look of the firearm.
Would you say that any of these are more dangerous than one another?
The danger, firearms are lethal by nature. The fact that they shoot a projectile at high velocity does incur some danger, but it's the person holding it that determines whether it's dangerous or not, and what they do with it.
I see.
A firearm by itself is inert. It cannot function without human intervention. As long as the person holding it is safe, I teach firearm safety. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've never had an accident in any of my classes. 100% safety record. That with just some common sense, keeping the gun point, safe direction, finger off the trigger, action open and clear, those same words used over and over will keep all firearms safe. Now, all we have to do is worry about the criminal misuse of firearms.
Let me ask you, really shocked and surprised that military ammunition was intended to wound rather than kill.
The media beats the drum and talks about these military arms which are only designed to kill. Well, actually, the Hague Conventions require that all military combatants who are signers of the Hague Convention, that was after World War I, agree to use non-deforming bullets. Well, what does that mean? It means that bullets that are fired have to have a copper jacket on the outside of them, which keeps them from deforming. Law enforcement use are hollow points. Hollow points mushroom. There's a 45, and there's a 9 that you contrast, and you'll see that they turn to double or triple their size when they hit something, impacting 100% of the kinetic energy to impact greater stopping power. That's illegal in warfare because it can kill.
Certainly there must be statistics about crime.
Sure.
What has happened in California since the Roberti-Roos bill passed banning assault weapons?
When the law was ruled unconstitutional and the rifles and firearms were more available, the crime rate was still going down. It had no effect on crime when it was enacted or not. Criminals do not obey the law. So passing a law does not affect criminals. All it affects is you and me as law-abiding citizens because we obey the law.
The estimates are some 300,000 citizens that haven't registered their maybe they haven't figured out whether they're legal or not.
That's a big problem.
Is it really?
Oh, it still is. Again, there was that raid last year, just a few months ago, in which the experts, the people who are supposed to know, confiscated the wrong gun.
David Roberti, Senator David Roberti, and I guess it was Assemblyman Michael Roos. Did they have any specific background or expertise in firearms?
Obviously not. The way the law was crafted, it eventually was ruled parts of it were ruled unconstitutional in 1998 because of the fact it was completely unenforceable. But they aren't, because law enforcement understands that peaceable citizens owning certain kinds of firearms aren't a danger to society. The issue is whether criminals are using firearms to harm people, not the kind of firearms they use. It's silly to think that if a criminal shoots a person with this firearm, it's a greater crime than if he shoots a person with this firearm. It's the activity of shooting people that we should be prohibiting and restricting.
In the government, there's a phrase used to restrict access to information. That phrase, need to know. At fulldisclosure.net, We want you to have all the information you need to be an informed citizen. Unlimited access to all the information we've gathered on our TV show. And if you can't watch us on your local cable station, streaming video of complete shows when you want them. FullDisclosure.net. When you need to know the news behind the news.